Have you ever wondered why some people seem constantly on edge or struggle to control their emotions, even when there's no apparent danger? This is a question that often arises when discussing the intricate world of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or complex PTSD. Complex PTSD is a psychological condition that emerges from enduring prolonged traumatic experiences, particularly in relationships marked by trust. It's a shadow that often goes unnoticed, lingering in the lives of those who have carried the weight of extended trauma. While it shares common symptoms with its cousin, post-traumatic stress disorder, complex PTSD brings along unique aspects that often lead to misdiagnosis. Imagine a life where you're persistently on alert, where your mind is always scanning for threats, and predictability becomes your sanctuary. This constant state of hypervigilance is a characteristic symptom of complex PTSD, a byproduct of the brain's attempt to protect the individual from potential harm. Alongside this heightened alertness, individuals often wrestle with emotional dysregulation. This struggle manifests as difficulties in expressing or controlling emotions, leading to intense bouts of irritability or anger. The root of this emotional turmoil can be traced back to the brain's heightened state of alert, which is constantly bracing for danger. Perhaps the most distressing symptoms of complex PTSD are flashbacks and intrusive thoughts. These are not just simple memories, but vivid sensory-rich reliving of traumatic events that can cause significant distress. It's as if the mind is caught in a loop, making it challenging to differentiate between past and present realities. And then there's disassociation, a sense of detachment that envelops the individual, creating a chasm between their emotions, their bodies, and the world around them. This disconnection can be so profound that it leads to memory gaps related to traumatic experiences, further complicating the healing process. Complex PTSD is a shadow that lingers, often unrecognized, in the lives of those who have endured prolonged trauma. It's a silent epidemic that affects countless lives, yet it remains shrouded in misunderstanding and misdiagnosis. But by acknowledging its signs and seeking professional help, we can begin to bring this shadow into the light, paving the way for recovery and healing. Imagine living each day as if you're about to face a threat, even when you're safe. This is the reality for those grappling with hypervigilance, a common symptom of complex PTSD. Amidst their daily lives, trauma survivors find themselves in a state of persistent alertness, perpetually scanning their surroundings for potential threats. This constant vigilance can lead to chronic tension, making relaxation a challenge. The world becomes a puzzle of patterns and predictions. Survivors may lean towards planned routines to mitigate feelings of vulnerability. The predictability of a routine can offer a sense of control, a semblance of safety amidst the unpredictable. But this entrenched alertness can be exhausting. It can turn even mundane tasks into arduous endeavors. The mind, in its heightened state of alert, perceives danger where there is none. Routine tasks become riddled with imagined threats. Hypervigilance can turn even the safest spaces into potential battlegrounds in the minds of those battling complex PTSD. Have you ever felt a whirlwind of emotions so intense that it becomes overwhelming? This is often the reality for individuals grappling with emotional dysregulation, a key aspect of complex PTSD. The struggle to express or control emotions can lead to an emotional roller coaster, marked by intense irritability or even explosive anger. This emotional instability stems from the brain's heightened state of alert, a response to trauma that keeps the individual perpetually on edge. Imagine your emotions as a seesaw, teetering between extremes. The slightest trigger could send them soaring high or plunging low, often without any middle ground. This can make emotional balance seem like an elusive dream. For those living with complex PTSD, understanding emotional dysregulation is a crucial step towards healing. By recognizing these intense emotional reactions as a part of their trauma response, they can begin to seek effective strategies for managing their emotions. Emotional dysregulation can make normal life feel like a storm of emotions for those with complex PTSD. What if your past wasn't just a memory, but a vivid, intrusive reality you relive over and over again? This is the daily struggle for individuals grappling with complex PTSD, where flashbacks and intrusive thoughts are not mere echoes of the past, but a relentless cacophony reverberating in the present. Picture this. You're walking down a familiar street when suddenly, an innocuous sound, a fleeting scent, or a stray thought sends you spiraling back into the heart of a traumatic event. Your heart races, your breath quickens, and the world around you fades into insignificance. You're not here in the present but there, in the throes of an old trauma, reliving it in high-definition sensory detail. This is a flashback, a hallmark of complex PTSD. But it's not just flashbacks. Intrusive thoughts, too, contribute to the distress. They're like uninvited guests at a dinner party, popping up when least expected and refusing to leave. They could be repetitive, negative thoughts, self-doubt, or persistent memories of the trauma. They are stubborn, relentless, and often highly distressing. The mind, in its attempt to process the trauma, keeps circling back to it, like a moth drawn to a flame. The challenge, then, lies in distinguishing the past from the present, in separating the then from the now. It's like trying to tune into a radio station amidst heavy static. The static, in this case, being the trauma that interferes with the clarity of the present moment. It's a disorienting experience, like walking through a hall of mirrors, where past and present realities blur and distort. But remember, these flashbacks, these intrusive thoughts, they're not indictments of your character or your strength. They're symptoms of a trauma response, a brain trying to make sense of the senseless, a heart trying to heal from the unhealable. Flashbacks and intrusive thoughts can turn even the most ordinary moments into echoes of past trauma for those with complex PTSD. But with understanding, patience, and professional guidance, it's possible to navigate this labyrinth, to tune out the static and find clarity amidst the echoes. Have you ever wondered why some people stay in harmful relationships, even when they know they're not good for them? This is a question that many of us grapple with, and the answer often lies in the realm of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or complex PTSD. Complex PTSD emerges from enduring prolonged trauma, often within relationships marked by trust. This trauma can form a dark undercurrent, shaping how individuals perceive and interact with their world. In the realm of relationships, this can lead to a pattern of staying in harmful situations due to a familiarity that, while distressing, provides a sense of predictability. The trauma survivor might grapple with mixed feelings toward their abusers, sometimes holding on to the hope that things will change. This can lead to a cycle of returning to or staying in harmful relationships. Furthermore, the familiarity of these relationships often holds a paradoxical comfort, making it challenging to leave, even when the harm is apparent. Complex PTSD can also impact new and existing relationships. The constant heightened alertness, or hypervigilance, can make it challenging to trust and connect with others. This, coupled with emotional dysregulation, can create a tempest of intense emotions that can be difficult for both the individual and their partners to navigate. Intrusive thoughts and flashbacks can also bring significant distress within relationships. These can be triggered by seemingly innocuous things, making it hard for the survivor to differentiate between past and present realities. This can create confusion and misunderstanding, leading to friction within relationships. Lastly, feelings of disconnection or disassociation can further complicate relationships. Survivors might feel detached from their emotions or body, experiencing the world as distant or unreal. This can make it challenging to form deep, meaningful connections with others. Complex PTSD can complicate relationships, often making it difficult for survivors to form healthy connections. But with awareness, understanding, and professional help, survivors can navigate these shadows and find their path to healing and healthier relationships. Complex PTSD might seem like a life sentence, but there is hope and potential for healing. This condition, born from enduring trauma, can often feel like an insurmountable mountain. But remember, every mountain can be conquered, one step at a time. The first step towards recovery is acknowledging the signs of complex PTSD. Recognize the persistent hypervigilance, the emotional dysregulation, the flashbacks and intrusive thoughts. Acknowledge the disassociation, the disturbed sleep patterns, the relationship issues, the concentration problems, the negative self-perception, and altered worldview. Each of these symptoms is a signpost on your path to recovery. Once acknowledged, it's crucial to seek professional help. It's like grabbing a flashlight before venturing into the darkness. Therapists, psychologists, and psychiatrists are equipped with the knowledge, tools, and techniques to help you navigate through the shadows of complex PTSD. They can provide therapeutic interventions like cognitive behavioral therapy, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or dialectical behavior therapy, helping you to manage symptoms and improve your quality of life. Recovery is not a straight line. There will be ups and downs, progress and setbacks. But each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. It's essential to celebrate these victories, for they light the path towards healing. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Reach out to support groups. Connect with others who share similar experiences. Their stories of resilience can serve as beacons of hope, illuminating your path. Self-care is paramount in recovery. Prioritize sleep, maintain a balanced diet, engage in regular exercise, and practice mindfulness. These are all small yet significant ways to regain control over your life and body. Finally, be patient with yourself. Healing takes time. It's a journey of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and self-love. Each day, each moment, you're becoming a little stronger, a little more resilient. Complex PTSD is a journey through shadows, but with the right help and support, it's possible to navigate the darkness and find the light of recovery.